for folks to roll in. Thank you for your patience. While we wait, if you'd like to throw your name in the chat and introduce yourself, feel free. But yeah, we'll get started in just a moment. Hi, Sherry. Glad you could join us this afternoon. The presentation, good to share. Okay, cool. Awesome. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So hi, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here and taking some time out of your lunch hour to join us and learn a bit about EVs. We just want to start with some brief introductions about who we are. So we are the EVs for Everyone program with Ecology Action. Our mission is less emissions. Ecology Action actually started in the 1970s as a recycling center. And today we focus on transportation, water conservation, and energy efficiency. This is our wonderful EVs for Everyone team, as you can see in these photos, and below you can see our wonderful sponsors, Veloce PG&E, Access Clean, General Motors, and Veloce Electric for All. They make the work possible. I'm Jordan. I'm a program coordinator on the team, and I'm presenting with my wonderful coworker, Kalia. Awesome. So let's dive into an agenda. Oh, let's not. We just want to take a moment to plug the purchase guidance program that we work under. So the EVs for Everyone has this really great program where we get folks to sign up, and you'll get paired with an advisor who will help you one-on-one to walk through the entire buying process of electric vehicles. We'll help you with any questions you have. We'll start looking at cars. We'll help with any applications. Literally, it's a hand-holding process from start to finish. We can, help you with almost everything. So if you aren't signed up, feel free to go to evsforeveryone.org and do that. And then you can sign up for a purchase guidance meeting with an advisor you're paired with. All right. So now for the agenda. We're going to start with an overview of electric vehicles. This is going to be a quick 101 on electric vehicle models and also EV charging. We know that this stuff can be complicated, so we just want to break it down for you and let you guys become experts. And then we're going to move into financial incentives. We're going to give an overarching view of financial incentives that are available currently, so you can kind of get an idea of what's out there and if a purchase will work for you. At the end, we're just going to transition to talk more about that EV purchase guidance program I just mentioned. Klee is going to break down what we expect of you and what you should expect from us. And then we're going to close out with a special presentation by Resilient Central Coast, which is Kalia. It's a great program for energy efficiency, environmental benefits that if you guys are interested in those sort of things, you'll really love. So stay tuned for that. All right, so we're going to jump in to a poll. There are going to be a couple polls throughout this presentation. The first one is just EV association. So what are your thoughts on driving electric? This can be good, this can be bad, it can be in between, indifferent. You should see the poll on your screen, and feel free to put whatever you feel. If you don't want to use the poll, you can use the chat, whatever floats your boat. We will have a couple of these throughout the presentation. Okay, just a couple more moments. All right. So, no matter where you are with your EV association, whether you're into it, you love the technology, we're just hoping that you can leave this presentation with a little bit better understanding of what they are. So no matter where you're at, that's fine, that's perfect, and we just hope to add a little more education into that perspective for you. All right, so first things first is the benefits of driving EVs. We're going to look at the environmental and financial benefits of driving electric. So let's jump into it. We're going to start with environmental benefits. So one of the first points we want to bring up is that EVs produce around 60 to 70% fewer greenhouse gas emissions over its lifetime than a gas-powered car. So this is like the entire life cycle of the vehicle. There's no tailpipe emissions with EVs. So that's where this number is coming from. This number is equivalent to around 30 acres of carbon sequestered by U.S. forests in 1 year, which is an insane amount of carbon. It's a really big impact to drive electric. The next point is if all cars on the road became electric, we would cut almost 1/5 of global emissions. That again is just speaking on how highly beneficial these vehicles are. Obviously, we know this isn't a perfect system. This isn't the solution to climate change, but when you look at what they can do if they are adopted, there's a large impact. So keeping that in mind is really important when you're considering your transportation needs. Right. So now we're going to go into the financial benefits, which are very compelling. We're just going to look at the average EV fuel cost savings at a couple of different stages in the life cycle. So the first year, you can save an average of $800, which is great. And within the next 7 years, you can save $4,700 on average, which is a decent amount of money. And then at the lifetime of the vehicle, you can save around $9,000, which that's a chunk of change. So that's great to see. And just the fuel costs are immense. Gas is unstable typically and so expensive. So that is great numbers to see. And on top of that, you're going to pay little to no maintenance cost. There's not engines in these guys, so you don't have to worry about oil changes. You don't have to worry about those sort of quarterly updates, depending on how often you get your car updated, or not updated, checked on. I know I don't do it as often because it is expensive. And then on top of that, there are the financial incentives that make it possible for you to save thousands of dollars off the price of a car, which just really isn't there for gas vehicles at the moment. So you can save a lot of money off the price of vehicle overall if you go electric with the incentives. Great. So now we're going to dive into an overview of different types of electric vehicles. So let's get into it. First, we're going to have a poll, and I'm going to launch that right now. This is about EV range. So it is like a little quiz. And as of 2023, what is the average range of a new all-battery electric vehicle? Is it 110? Is it 270? Is it 499? Looks like we have a couple answers coming in. You guys are aligned. Okay, let's end poll and share results. So you all are super geniuses or very well versed in EVs. 270 is correct. As the end of 2023, that is the average range for electric vehicles. So let's look a little bit more into those numbers. All right, so range is on the rise. Over the past decade, we've seen that range is slowly increasing, and the average is that middle line on the graph, and we are at 270 at the end of 2023. Right now, it's the highest it's ever been, and we only expect it to increase with technology. It does depend on the make and model. You can expect to see more affordable models at lower ranges and more luxury brands closer to 400. On this graph, you can see it's over 500. Those are the crazy expensive, like Lucid Airs, Rivians, just really fancy technology that develops the battery to have far ranges. We hope and expect for the average EV to go, 400 to 500 miles of range like a gas car. So I think these numbers, although it's for expensive cars at the moment, this can kind of be like our goal of where we're going and what we can get to in the future. So stay tuned for that. Okay, So now we're going to break down the types of electric vehicles. There are essentially three types of EVs. There are hybrids, plug-in hybrids, and all battery electric vehicles. To help you understand this graph, you can see from left to right being the most similar to a gas vehicle to the most dissimilar from a gas vehicle. So just to start with hybrids, they are the most similar because they are gas vehicles. They have electric assistance that increases the miles per gallon. So you're going to have really high MPG, meaning you're going to get more miles per gallon. And so you're still going to be stopping at gas stations. You're just going to be doing it far less frequently than you would in a traditional gas vehicle. And then in the middle, we have the plug-in hybrid, which is combining both the technologies. You're going to have a gas tank and an electric battery. The battery range is going to be a bit shorter to accommodate the size of the gas tank and the structure of the vehicle, but you'll be stopping at gas stations occasionally, and you're also going to be stopping to charge at public chargers or at your home. And then finally, we have the all battery electric vehicle. There's no gas involved in this one. You're only going to be filling up at your local stations in your community or at your home charger. So that one's great. Okay, so now we're going to do a deep dive into plug-in hybrids and all batteries. And this is because most of the incentives lie within those because the hybrids are technically gas vehicles, just more efficient ones. So let's go ahead and jump into the all battery first. So as we distinguished earlier, the average range is anywhere from like 100 to 300, depending on the technology, the type of car, all of that. And the average price for a new vehicle right now is around 28 to 60,000. It's a pretty wide range depending on the model you're looking for, but that's what you can kind of expect. And then the average price for a used is anywhere from 15 to 40,000. Again, this is like a searching game. You can find a little bit cheaper. You can find probably a little bit more expensive. So just keep an eye on the prices. You should consider getting an all battery electric vehicle. If you have access to charging at home, you'll need reliable charging as gas isn't an option. So having charging at home makes getting an all battery really sensible. And then you should consider it if your daily commute distance is within the battery range. So when you're considering which EV model is best for you, you need to take into account how much and where you're driving to on a daily basis. So just as an example, say that someone has to commute from Santa Cruz to Oakland from work. If you get a Chevy Bolt that has about 259 miles on average, Santa Cruz to Oakland is a 150-mile round trip. So you could use the Bolt and drive to Oakland and back and not have to worry about charging. So it's really important to look at your commute to see how much you are driving when considering which EV model is best for you and what you really need in terms of range. Okay, so now we're going to look at a couple of models that are popular in our program. There's the Nissan Leaf, the Chevy Bolt, the Hyundai Kona, the Kia Niro, and the Volkswagen ID4. And they're all great models and have different styles and looks and ranges. So there's a lot of different options out there as of now for all battery. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the plug-in hybrid. So as I mentioned earlier, the average range in all electric mode is shorter with the plug-in hybrids because of the design. So you can get anywhere from like 15 to 50 miles with a plug-in hybrid. And the average price for new is anywhere from 30 to 40 on average right now. And for used, you can find vehicles from 15 to probably around 30 as well. So those are the specs on the plug-in hybrids, and you should also consider getting a plug-in hybrid if the daily commute or frequent road trips would exceed the battery range on an all battery. So just as another example, my daily distance of driving is around like 15 to 20 miles. I go to work, go to the grocery store, maybe visit some friends. So my daily commute would work with a model that has a lower range, However, I have family that lives in Southern California, and I like to visit them occasionally. So I would have a plug-in hybrid and use the gas tank to get 300 to 400 miles and not have to worry about stopping to charge. So um, plug-in hybrids really accommodate driving locally electric and then using the gas tank to go on road trips, to visit family, and you don't have to worry about that range anxiety. And then the last point is if you're just not fully ready to go electric, that's a totally valid and fair point. Some people are just not sold on full electricity or worried about charging and range. And if that's you, that's totally okay. Plug-in hybrids allow for you to dabble in electric transportation without, having to fully give up the comfort of gas. Our society is built around gas vehicles. That makes a ton of sense. So these vehicles are good transition to go electric one day. So let's look at some models. There's the BMW i3, Mini Cooper E, which those first two images are flipped. So the Mini Cooper is the first one and the BMW is the second one. And then we have the Chrysler Pacifica Hybrid, which is one of the only minivans on the market. It's a pretty cool vehicle. And then we have the Chevy Bolts and the Toyota Prius Prime, which is the electric version of the traditional Prius hybrid. Okay, so we have this video that Clea made that really gives you an inside view of the electric vehicle models that we see come through our program. So this will help you give a more in-depth idea of these vehicles. So Clea, go ahead. You have to unmute, I think, for the sound to play.
That makes sense.
Let's take a closer look at the most popular and affordable used and new electric vehicles on the market. This is the 2018 Tesla Model 3. It is a fully electric sedan with 5 seats. It has a range of about 272 miles, and newer models are available with up to 333 miles of range. This is a great daily commuter car with the comfort of a luxury car feel. This is the fully electric 2023 Chevy Bolt EV. It is a hatchback style with 5 seats. It has tremendous cargo space when the back seats are down, and a range of about 259 miles. The Chevy Bolt EV is a great all-around car, whether driving around the city, commuting, or road trips. Those looking for a little extra passenger room and cargo space can opt for the Chevy Bolt EUV. It provides that extra space as a compact crossover SUV while still averaging around 247 miles of range. Next, we have the Nissan Leaf. It is another fully electric vehicle you can buy new or used. This is the 2014 model with about 84 miles of range and is a great option for those in the market for a used vehicle. It's a hatchback with 5 seats, and newer models come with a range of up to 212 miles. It also has great cargo space when the seats are down. The Leaf is a great car for getting around town for your daily needs or shorter commute. This is the BMW i3 and is a great affordable option as a used plug-in hybrid electric vehicle with many on the market. This one is the 2015 model. It's a hatchback with 4 seats. This model has an all-electric range of 81 miles with the optional gas range extender, which adds an additional 70 miles of range. The BMW i3 is a great option for city commutes and day trips with a luxury car feel. The Volkswagen ID.4 is a great fully electric SUV with tremendous cargo capacity. It has 5 seats and an impressive range of about 275 miles. This is a great family car for daily driving and family road trips. We reviewed the most popular and affordable electric vehicles. To learn more about the incentives you qualify for, sign up for purchase guidance at evsforeveryone.org.
Cool. All right, so now I'm going to give you a brief overview of electric vehicle charging, which I'm probably sure we're all wondering about. So there are 3 types of charging. We have level 1, level 2, and level 3, often known as DC fast charging. Level 1 charging is done with a 120 volt plug that you can find in your home. This is the same outlet you use to plug in your phone or appliances, and this type of charging will give you about 3 to 5 miles per hour. However, if level 1 chargers are the most accessible way to charge your EV, since the charger comes free with the vehicle when you buy it. So this is a great option for folks who generally drive less than 40 miles a day, since you will recharge any range used up during the day when you park your car overnight. However, if you want something a little faster or drive more than 40 miles a day, there are level 2 chargers available, which is the middle one there. Level 2 uses more electricity and charges the vehicle much faster, and you get approximately 10 to 20 miles per hour. They usually plug into 240 volt outlets that are typically used for like laundry dryers. So if looking to install level 2 charger at your home, an electrician would be needed to install, and you may even have to upgrade your electrical panel to accommodate the charger. This can be a costly process. And fortunately, that's where we are here to help. There are incentives available to help offset the cost, and we can help you apply for those incentives in our free purchase guidance program. So level 2 chargers are great if you have an electric vehicle with 200 plus miles of range. Plug it in overnight will give you a full charge. But if you're looking to install it at home or unable to, there are also many level 2 chargers publicly available, and later we'll show you how you can find them around your community. And finally, we have level 3 charging, or DC fast charging as it's really known, and hence the name, it is the fastest option. They're only available publicly and are usually found in supermarket parking lots or at highway exits. And they're usually for road trips or for people who need a quick charge, as they can charge 100 to 200 miles of range in 30 minutes, depending on your electric vehicle make and model. So now I'm going to give you a brief overview of the different charging costs for home and public charging. So of course, charging from home is the easiest way to charge your electric vehicle. You plug it in overnight, wake up, and you're ready to ride. The cost is combined with your monthly electric bill. So instead of paying upfront, you're going to be getting that added to your bill every month. And the cost of charging for level 1 and 2 chargers are the same and depends on the battery size of your vehicle, but also the price of electricity in your area. And the price of electricity in your area can vary and can even be cheaper to charge during off-peak hours, which usually are before 4 p.m. and after 9 p.m. The cost of public charging can vary, but we do have a rough estimate for you. So for level 2, the cost to fully charge can be around $10 to $25. And for DC fast charging, the cost to fully charge can be around $15 to $30. Of course, there's a lot of factors that can impact the cost of charging, including the size of your battery, how much charge you need, and the rate of the charger. But roughly, most level 2 chargers have a rate of 20 to 40 cents per kilowatt hour, whereas level 3 chargers have rates between 35 to 55 cents per kilowatt hour. So to put in perspective, for level 2 and 3 chargers, you're paying about 7 or 11 cents per mile, whereas gas is ranging from 18 to 21 cents per mile in some areas. And that means the cents add up. You can save $2,053 on fueling on average by going electric. Not only can you save on refueling, but generally electric vehicles take less maintenance. You don't have to deal with pesky oil changes or the extensive maintenance that gas cars require. According to Consumer Reports, you can save $4,600 on maintenance by going electric. Next, we have a poll for you. So please, we would like you to rank how accessible you think EV charging stations are on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being inaccessible and 5 being very accessible. All right, got some 3s, some 4s, some 5s. Pretty mixed, but I would say that's a good threshold right there for sure. Well, you will be happy to know that electric vehicle charging may be more accessible than you think, and charging may happen at home, at work, or out and about at a public charger. And there are many resources available to help you find a charging point in your location or along your route. One such resource is PlugShare. PlugShare is an interactive map that shows you available charging stations. It can show you user reviews and tell you if stations are occupied or not, and it offers features to plan road trips. So as you can see here, it's asking me to log in. No. No. Well, that's a new one. But yeah, it's a map that usually, why that's so weird. Exit. But it's a map that usually shows the charger stations. So the green is going to be the level 2 and the orange stations are going to be level 3. So you can decide which station you need when you need it. Back. So here's a summary of the financial incentives for clean vehicles. All right, so this chart shows the incentives for both used and new vehicles that are fully battery electric. For new or used vehicles, you will qualify for the state grant program or the Drive Clean Assistance Grant Program, which is available for low-income folks living in specific communities and provides up to $7,500 as down payment assistance when purchasing a new used vehicle. We also have the federal tax credit, which is online recently, and it currently goes off your existing tax liability, so you can receive a max of $7,500 for a new vehicle and $4,000 for a used vehicle, which sounds pretty good to me. And then there are the rebates that you can apply and receive after purchasing an electric vehicle for new or used vehicles. There are 2 local programs. So we have the EV rebate from Central Coast Community Energy that provides a max of $4,000 for a new vehicle and $3,000 for a used vehicle. And then we also have a program available from PG&E, and you can receive up to $4,000 depending on your annual income. And the last program on there as well consists of turning in your old non-functioning car and receiving financial assistance of up to $1,500. So adding these programs together, you can receive as high as $11,500 for a new electric vehicle or up to $16,000 for a used one. For the Southern California folks, there are regional incentives for you as well. I don't know if we have any on this call. We have some rebates as well for you on there. But as we mentioned, we also have programs available to help you cover the cost of getting a level 2 charger installed at your home. So the rebate program covers the cost of buying the actual charging unit, installation cost, and any potential panel upgrades that you would need to install. Your advisor will be able to help you determine what charging solution makes the most sense for you and help you apply for the appropriate rebates as well. And Southern Californian folks, if you're on here, you also have programs available to you. So you're probably wondering, with all that money on the line, do I qualify for incentives? Well, there's a varying requirement for each of the rebate programs. Largely, they go off of income standards, meaning that lower income households will qualify for more. So the car requirements are also important because some programs have specific age of vehicle, mileage, income, and cost restrictions. And we have a special slide talking all about the PG&E pre-owned rebate program as well. That's online. So the new PG&E pre-owned rebate has slightly different program requirements. The program goes off of the county's median income. Applicants have to be below 80% of the median income to qualify for the increased rebate. You can see in the chart on the right, for a single filer in the Santa Cruz County, the income starts at $87,350. If you fit the income requirements, you just have to ensure that you submit your application within 180 days of purchase to be qualified. So now I'm going to give you some purchase scenarios. So this one is going to be Alara. She signed up for purchase guidance in April 2023, and then she went ahead and applied for the grant, waited for that to be approved, then purchased a Bolt EUV in July 2023, and then shortly thereafter applied for rebates and received all her rebates by September 2023. And her total savings were $23,000, which is insane and doesn't sound right, but is insane. And then we have another purchase scenario. This is George. So George signed up for purchase guides in October. He didn't qualify for any grants, so he went ahead and purchased a Tesla Model Y and then went ahead and applied to the post-purchase rebates, which were 2, and received all the rebates by December 2023. And his total savings were $10,000. and $500. So go George. So now we're going to give you a brief overview of the EVs for Everyone Purchase Guidance Program. So the buying process begins by raising awareness about electric vehicles. You may have heard about electric vehicles from friends or neighbors, interacted with one of us at community event, or seen one of our ads online. Maybe you see Jordan's face somewhere. The next thing you can do is sign up for the Purchase Guidance Program. So our program will help guide you through the entire buying process and get all of your questions answered. If you haven't already done so, you can sign up on our website at evsforeveryone.org. Another plug for you. The next step is meeting your purchase guidance advisor, and we will walk you through the benefits finder on the Access Clean California website. And this is a questionnaire that will ask you a series of questions and give a summary of the incentives you may qualify for. In the meantime, you will work with your purchase guidance advisor to start shopping for cars and find out which vehicle best fits your lifestyle, preferences, and budget. So as you shop, if you applied for a grant, you will need to wait for the approval to use it at the time of purchase. And once you complete the purchase of the electric vehicle, you can apply for rebates and receive the money shortly thereafter in the form of a check in the mail, which is always nice to see. And this can be used to reduce your monthly payment or to pay bills as needed. Our program will help you through every step of the process, from learning more about electric vehicles to applying for and purchasing a vehicle to helping you apply for and install a charger in your home after you purchase the car. We are there every step of the way. And the role of the purchase guidance advisor, and we can help you look at the different types of electric vehicles available and help you find one that works for you. We'll help you apply for financial assistance, review budgeting and financing options, and we'll also help you find dealerships where you can buy a car, and we can discuss the different options for charging and installing a charger in your home as well. So that sounds pretty good. Pretty helpful. But as a purchase guidance advisor, we are not responsible for troubleshooting any grant application or reimbursement processing issues with program funders. And this is because we're not administrators of any of the incentive programs. Instead, we are a resource center to help guide you in the right direction and give you contact information for support. We can also not help you advising with the federal tax credit. That's just because we're not CPAs and don't know the specifics of your tax information, but we can always pass along resources and information that we do have. And finally, we cannot make the final decision on choosing and purchasing an electric vehicle. The decision depends on what you need and makes most sense for you and your personal lifestyle.
Okay, so next up, some homework. Let's get into that. So just to provide a quick timeline of what you could expect if you want to go through this program, kind of like the scenarios we laid out with George and Alara. So pre-purchase, you're going to go through, if you're income qualified, the Access Clean California income verification, and this takes 3 to 6 weeks to process. They're just making sure that the information you provide is correct. Once you get approved, if you're going to apply for a pre-purchase program such as a grant or a Clean Cars for All replacement program, that takes 1 to 4 months. The grant is definitely the lengthiest process within this whole journey. So expect, a couple of months to be dedicated towards that. Once you do get approved, though, you'll buy your car. The money will get wired to whatever dealer you're working with. They'll handle it all. And then you'll apply for the rebates. And those take 4 to 6 weeks. Like Kalia said, you'll get a check in the mail that can go towards payments or, cash for you. So the buying process can take anywhere from like 3 to 8 months. So just keep that in the back of your mind as you're going through this. If you're trying to get a vehicle, if it's urgent, you can expect maybe like a couple of months to get the money in a vehicle, but you can also take your time if you're not in a rush as well. So, all right. So just one last call to action for you all. If you haven't already, or you're not currently in our programs, please sign up for Purchase Guidance. We'd love to help you through. There's no pressure to buy immediately. We can just answer questions if you have follow-up from this presentation or things you've heard in the media or from like your community members. So go ahead and sign up. The link is in the chat, and me, Kalia, or one of our wonderful coworkers can help you through all of this. Okay. And while you're, waiting or before you've signed up or if you want to talk to anyone, we really recommend that you do your research and go on the internet and look at different models of EVs that interest you. Take into consideration the range, the style, and the cost. I think we have some resources like Veloce Electric for All, and also like Craigslist and CarMax. And this is really just for you to get a pulse on kind of what these cars are going for. So when you're going to purchase, you are prepared and know what to expect. We can help you along and give you information as you go through this program, but it's really important that you know what you're going to be paying or you expect to be paying, and when you deal with dealerships, just to be ready to go and to get a car that's fair and works for you and your lifestyle. All right.
I'll take it away. I'll take
Mhm.
it away, Jordan. No. Yeah, so I'm excited to provide a brief overview of our Resilient Central Coast campaign before we hop off. So nearly 40% of US greenhouse gas emissions come from 5 basic household sources: the use of electricity, home heating, transportation, food choices, and our waste stream. The good news is that solutions exist, and we can take action in these areas to significantly lower our impact while saving money and improving community health and resilience. So, what is Resilient Central Coast? Well, Resilient Central Coast campaign is a 6-county collaborative effort from Santa Cruz to Ventura with the goal of activating 500,000 residents on the Central Coast by 2030 to take climate action and better prepare for climate change impacts. The informational backbone of the campaign is the nationally recognized Bright Action platform, which is customized for each of our participating counties. And there are over 25 agency partners that are supporting the campaign in hopes of building healthier and more resilient communities. And we chose the Central Coast because Central Coast is one of the most impacted by climate change effects and adaptations, and through collective action, we can all make a difference. So the Bright Action platform, which is natively translated into Spanish, includes over 100 household actions and a robust carbon calculator that is free to all. So residents receive immediate feedback about their savings and their positive impact while connecting with others who are also taking action. Each of the county pages have been customized with resources and includes local, state, and federal rebates, incentive programs, along with other tools and information to help residents take actions from home electrification, e-bike and electric vehicle resources, to water conservation and everything in between. The platform serves as a one-stop shop for residents to identify actions and updates they can do in their home to better conserve resources and save on utility bills, which I know I can definitely benefit from. So we encourage you to join the thousands of other community members that have already started using this free online resource. So log on to resilientcentralcoast.org if you're curious today and follow the simple prompts to get started. We look forward to having you access this one-stop shop for household climate actions and helping you save resources and money. So please reach out with any questions or needs or support needs that you have. I would love to help. Thanks.
All right. So now we have a section for any questions that anyone has. Feel free to throw that in the chat, or you can raise your hand and we can chat quickly. Don't be shy.
Are there any in the chat? No.
Does not seem so. Okay. Well, I'm going, so our emails are on the screen. Feel free to write them down. Oh gosh, I tried to throw our emails in the chat. They're there. They're a little funky format wise. But if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We'd love to help you out and talk some. Oh, next step for buying an EV. Thomas, are you signed up for our purchase guidance program? Yes. Okay. So I would schedule a meeting with your advisor. I can go into our system and find out who it is and tell them that you want to buy an EV and make sure that they connect with you, and they can help you through the existing incentives. Right now, there's no grants, but the federal tax credit applies at point of purchase. So this could help lower the cost, and then you get rebates afterwards. And hopefully that'll work out for you. I hope that we get an update in one of our meetings that you purchased, Thomas. Thank you for coming to this presentation. Okay. Anyone else have any questions? All right. So if any thoughts come to you, use our emails, please. But we really appreciate you taking the time out of your afternoon to be here. And we hope to hear from you soon. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Bye.